Hello, everybody. This is Zach, and I am off-season analyst. Well, at least one of them. The other one is Dan here.
Analyst. Thank you very much. But yes, hello, it is I, the one you all are here to listen to.
Yep, we're the two you're going to be hearing every single week when you tune into this channel.
We're all that's left.
Yes, we are the All That's Left crew. But every week we're going to have a new voice with us, and our voice this week is Nick.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Oh yeah, that's him. So this week we actually have some matches to look back on, some standings to look at, and I'm trying to keep these relatively short. So we're gonna just go ahead and jump into them AS. So moving into weekly battles. Okay, so here's our current standing. Spoiler alert. Differential is gonna be by match. So when you see Nick up there at a +2, that means he won 2-0. The rest were 2-1 sets.
Wow, it's wild that Ian's first with a +1.
Ian's tied for second.
No, Ian's first. He's the only team I see at the very top of the board there. I don't see any other team.
Oh right.
All right, Dan. Deny all you want. You just wrong as fuck.
So yeah,
Who is
there's
this?
a ton of ties right now, but I'm hoping by the end of 7 weeks, all these ties are broken and the issue will be.
Oh, I'm sure.
We're gonna have the same results all week, every team, and it's gonna be a nightmare for you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna 2-0 every week. You know it.
Well, speaking about that, Nick, let's talk about your match pretty briefly.
Oh yeah.
I think by pure statistical standards, your match was the most dominant one. All of them.
I think a lot of that came down to. I mean, I talked to Zache about it, and he was very prepared for Urshifu, understandably, because that boy's drunk. But I knew that was going to be a thing, so I was like, you know what? Let's bring someone else in, and that champion for my team was Gastrodon, Slugzilla.
Fucking Gastrodon Dynamax is so hard to kill. It's so fucking
especially
annoying.
when that thing got an AV.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes,
I was gonna ask what his item was, because I'm like, wow, he's just taking no damage. What's going on?
Yeah.
Assault Vest the way to be. It's my favorite item.
It was interesting because Nick didn't have a whole lot of offensive presence outside of that bear. So he had to make someone do it, and it ended up being Gastrodon.
Yup. I mean, Gastrodon was also, it was there as a big like Blastoise deterrent because he can't throw down his Gmax Cannonade.
Yeah.
Which does that continuous damage. So that was one main reason to pick Gastrodon, but then I was like, you know what? It can throw down the damage as well. Let's just do it.
Yeah, and
especially with Helping Hand.
I think we'll always know that Urshifu is going to be focus for me.
Yeah.
Which makes me think possible someone is going to be looking into other Urshifu. If someone's not in love with their Gmax, they might take the water Urshifu. I think it's pretty good too. So
I believe it. Yeah, they're very powerful.
Yeah,
and that one doesn't have a 4 times fairy weakness.
Yeah, and I mean you had a pretty good support from Gothitelle. I mean, there was one match where I think it was literally just Gothitelle and Gastrodon up. Didn't really.
Yeah. Well, I both times I started with Gothitelle and Urshifu, but Urshifu either hard switched or U-turned every time.
Right. Yeah,
because he could.
I think they were pretty good matches. You proved us wrong, that's for sure.
Oh yes, I absolutely did.
Last week. And you
all 3 of you didn't believe in me, but I believed in me.
Nick's brain,
I think Zache's
came out.
Yeah, also, Zache was very busy this week and did not have time to prepare adequately.
When I saw Thievel, I'm like, uh-oh.
I mean, he didn't have time. He didn't have time to prepare adequately, but I think even if he did, it was a very tough matchup for him. Because like a lot of his stuff really does not like your Urshifu.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing with Urshifu is I could have just let him blast through the team. I was checking, there was Calx, and he could just use like close combat and wicked blow and OHKO most things on the team.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds about right.
Even if they maxed.
When he's
sounds about right.
Yeah, when he's got Mudsdale with stamina, I mean, stamina doesn't matter when you crit every time. And Protect is so big in doubles, and Urshifu doesn't care.
Yep. Yeah. So, very powerful Pokemon.
I expect to see more coming from Urshifu either directly or indirectly by taking the for other allies to pop off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But quickly moving into the next match, that was Ian. You can see the Quillfishes there versus Dracovish. It was our first match of the.
Yeah, they were. That was what, like Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah, it was
And
nice.
we
and
got
early.
a heat set.
It was pretty good. We got a heat set. I'll get into it after we talk about it for a little bit. But what were your thoughts, Dan?
I was thinking the entire time, like, oh, how's he gonna deal with the sun? And like literally turn one, I'm like, oh, that's how. Okay.
With some heat
Yeah.
of his own.
So throwing the just the rain dance on what's
Prankster.
what's the thing called?
Purloin.
Purloin, yeah.
Pork
Just getting the rain dance up and saying, hey, yeah, you're not getting that sun up.
Yeah, which it did force him to keep cycling the Torkoal, which sure it's cycling the weather, but that means Torkoal doesn't just get to throw out eruptions all the time.
Yeah.
But that's scary.
I mean, it is. I think Greg's team is one that actually likes to cycle, so I think it wasn't a horrible loss for him. But yeah, it was definitely frustrating for him to have to cycling to get that terrain up. Or sorry, the weather up.
The weather, yeah.
And I guess that's a good segue into this.
The heat.
I'm going to be doing Heat of the Week every week. I'm going to be selecting a set that was very impactful and also unique. And just kind of highlighting it and asking the owners to give me a little bit of words about their set. So this is Ian's set by Pedal or by Pedal, however you want to pronounce it. He brought the prankster Purloin, who is sitting on all fours right now, which I appreciate because when it stands up, it's hideous.
You got a point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the fake out the taunt and the rain dance, all really big sport moves for him this week, and then the snarl actually ended up picking up 2 KOs at the end. Now, guys, I asked Ian to give me some words, and
he gave you
he gave you 6,000.
Yeah, so most of the time I expect people to go like haha computer or like haha disco burr, and I can like read it real fast. That is not Ian. He has given me a thesis. So I'm going to put on my reading glasses here and clear my throat and get into this. So, quote from Ian. Bipedal, like all prankster mods, has a very solid standing in VGC, being able to counter or even preemptively strike the opponent's strategies without being limited to being the only Pokemon on your field. This set aimed to disrupt Greg's strategy specifically, utilizing Fake Out in the most typical fashion, while also having Taunt in order to shut down any potential setup in Venusaur or Drifblim.
Are you sure Ian wrote this?
I'm certain he wrote this.
Snarl to neuter Greg's primarily special team, and Rain Dance to outright stop what I believe to be the core of Greg's team, Sun. I believe Purloin did its job spectacularly, having cut Torkoal's potential damage by 200% more than a handful of times, and having prevented Venusaur's speed boosting the same amount. That paired with Snorlax's natural special bulk meant that Greg's focus needed to shift to either countering Purloin specifically or to winning the game without the core of his draft, which was a boon to my playing in either case. In the end, Purloin's exploits were more blatantly obvious than they will likely be in coming weeks. Having dominated the weather scene the first 2 matches and having scored the final 2 KOs of the set. And I am very proud of her. So that's our weekly thesis from Ian.
That was amazing. God,
nerd.
He's so. I love it. I love it.
So basically,
this is the same guy that just chokes on glizzies, just turns around and does this shit.
He survives solely on glizzy.
His mind can keep churning while he's eating hot dogs.
I don't fucking know how.
So anyway, back to where we were. So that was a good match. He used Purloin to counter weather pretty effectively. The match between Evan and Raul was pretty close, one of the closer ones this week. I think Raul showed that his team is pretty potent. He only needs a team or a turn or two, and his team can get out of hand pretty quickly. So you have to address it almost immediately. Evan ended up addressing it in the end. Raul won the first match. Evan won the second one when Raul switched it up. Maybe he shouldn't have switched it up, but he did. And then Raul fell back on his first winning strategy the second match, but I think had one really bad turn where he kind of threw.
Not bringing Cinderace was a surprise for me.
I mean, I don't think it was a surprise when Evan's got a lot of strong stuff, and he has things that can kind of handle like things that are strong against. And I don't know, maybe Raul didn't want to straight mirror the whole team. Sure. But
then he shouldn't have drafted.
Well, he'll probably bring Cinderace most other matches.
Yeah, probably.
I just don't think he wanted to go into the match with Evan with like straight mirrors on some things. I think he wanted his own kind of stuff going on. And Scolipede proved to be one of the bigger members of his team.
Yeah, Scolipede did some good work in that.
So yeah,
it was good and scary until it was stuck in Trick Room and just.
Well,
it was like, okay, what do I do now?
Speed Boost is not a
well,
good combo,
wait,
but
can I survive 4 turns?
Yeah. Even in the last set when Raul was in Trick Room, I think he had an opportunity to at least take out that Capraja. If he had clicked the right move, I think he ended up trying to helping hand his Scolipede in Trick Room, and then Scolipede fainted, so it was a completely wasted turn.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Where he could have just done a follow me, forced Capraja to knock out Togetic, and then hit Capraja with a +2 Adamant Life Orb Max Quake.
Which, yeah, that would have been nice. He didn't have much health, but
yeah, which I mean, it would have O-code the Capraja, or at least brought it down to the final 15%. In which case, Hatterene would clean up, and then Raul has Hatterene and Drampa and Trick Room to win.
Yeah,
but messed up.
And we did see the Drampa was slower than the other two.
Drampa was. Oh, I didn't know that we saw that. Yeah, I think I helped Raul with the EVs on that one, and he made sure it was min speed. It was as slow as possible.
It was either the last turn of Trick Room, or maybe it was the first turn out of Trick Room where it outsped them.
Yeah, I mean, Raul's got some solid Trick Room in that team with Hatterene, Drampa, even Marowak can be slow enough.
Whack.
So I think he's got some good stuff. Raul just needs to. He had to get his feet wet, learn how doubles works, and he put up a good fight against Evan. So
he did. Sure. Taking first round was. He had that one pretty commandedly, just couldn't capitalize off it. But who's he face next week? Well, we'll come back to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. And then quickly into the last matchup, it was Jake versus Cheryl, which was kind of bonkers.
Jake versus who?
Jake versus Lauren.
Jake versus Lauren.
I'm looking at the Weedles logo, and I'm just thinking Jake versus Lauren.
Yes, he's the stand-in coach.
Yeah. Every time I see Weedles, I just think Cheryl, obviously. But it was. I think there were times where Jake had rehearsed very specific openings and pairings, and he looked really good when he did that. And then there were times where he tried to sludge bomb a steel type twice in a row, or tried to hit a normal type with a ghost move.
So we did only see 3 moves from Weezing there. It
may have had nothing else.
Yeah, right. The Tog was already burned, and he just there's nothing else he could have done. So I mean, you gotta click a button. So
okay, well,
and it could have been that he didn't want to show off a 4th move, possibly. But yes, he did still.
I mean, maybe, but he also did Max Phantasm when
that's true.
We did know that's a whole Max move. We do
a
know
whole ass Max move.
Yeah.
So with Jake, it's a roller coaster. There are highs and there are lows.
Like I said, I don't understand him. I really don't, because he has a great start where he just starts off with neutralizing gas to just neuter Whimsicott.
That showed
to kill the prankster.
Yeah, that showed very specific and thought out strategy coming. Then he follows it up with hitting and trying to hit a normal type with a ghost move.
Yeah,
I think he does a lot of mocks with Evan. And then he learns very specific openings or specific matchups, and then hyper focuses on those, and then kind of misses some of the stuff in between. But
we get some of the finer details.
He retained enough with his natural prowess to win his first.
Got that W.
He's up there tied for 2nd. So I mean, obviously, all these guys are in the same standing. It's just alphabetical.
Yeah.
And these guys so we've dwelled long enough on last week. I want to look at the next week's.
Let's look to the future.
So here we have the Lake of Rage Quillfishes versus the Safari Zone Weedles. So the teams remain mostly the same, except Ian has dropped Frostmoth for Quillfish.
There it is.
He's got the mascot. It's time for the curse.
He's got the boy.
he do got the mascot, and I do know. Well, I guess let's just talk about the matchup. What do you guys think?
So looking at speed tiers, we're kind of evenly matched. Like you've got a little faster on the side of the Weedles, but they both got good, nice, slow Pokemon.
Yeah, I think Ian's team can pretty easily be outsped and undersped by cores from other teams. But I don't think he's particularly worried about that.
So it looks like Jake has very good top end speed with his top 3, but then like the middle
big chunk of that really shitty speed tier.
Yeah, where they're not even slow enough to be useful.
Yeah, and you're like 50 to 80 range, which is some of the worst area to be in for speed.
But I mean, when you look at Ian's team,
he does also have a lot of that middle.
Like we have to assume Ian's got run, like if Ian runs the slowest Gourgeist, there's only 3 things lower than an Arctovish.
Yeah.
Gourgeist being one of them. So, Arctovish in Trick Room could still be very strong.
This is true.
Don't forget, Quillfish gets Swift Swim.
Quillfish gets Swift Swim. Ian has stacked 3 Intimidators on this team.
Yeah. Well, and then he's also got things like Gyarados and Togekiss that can max and get stab flying for that speed boost if he wants to go that route.
Got priority. Snorlax is a threat in Trick Room. He's almost like a Trick Room deterrent for people.
Yeah. Oh, so you'd like to Trick Room? Yes, please.
Go ahead. I fucking dare you.
Let me just curse right quick.
But that's the first matchup. I'm going to quickly move into the next one. We've got Evan versus Lauren of the Togepi. Oh, and sorry. There's another change. Evan has made the adjustment from Clefable to Clefairy now.
He succumbed to peer pressure.
Yeah.
Well, he Insider Scoop told me that he is now more confident in Clefairy because he doesn't have another. So he might have taken Clefable because he thought about using something else.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I think this was still better.
Who would stack their team Light users?
Yeah, only
how foolish!
Some dumb
how
idiot.
Foolish!
So, in some ways, Lauren has already won because she stacked her team with friends.
Yes, the cutest team.
That's all she needs. She's also named Dracovish Pumpkin, which I am very happy with. I like that. It's a funny name. Pretty adorable.
They're all very cute.
But I do see Lauren having some problems with the Cinderace. Even a Rillaboom.
I mean, Dracovish can eat attacks from Cinderace, kind of.
Can't do shit to Rillaboom.
This is also true.
Rillaboom. I mean,
the big boomer is going to be a problem.
Big Boomer is always a problem, and he's Max Rillaboom, whose max move does extra damage while also already being in terrain.
Yeah, that's a big boomer right there.
You know what's really fun? Giving it Miracle Seed.
Yeah, I mean you can even
why not?
Bandit or Life Orb it.
You would have to Life Orb it. Band doesn't affect it.
Oh right, Band doesn't affect maxing.
Yeah,
Life Orb it. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, same kind of points as before because Lauren didn't really change the team much. Her team is not super slow. So
her slowest being 60 means if he decides to go Trick Room with the Copperage and the Slowbro,
we could see Evan getting gutsy here and trying to run the fabled Octillery set that we've heard about but not heard enough about. So you might see Lauren.
Moody isn't banned, right?
Not banned.
It's not.
There we go. There we go.
I think. If there's ever a time, it's probably now against Lauren, who doesn't know doubles very well and has a team that is just all faster than Octillery. You could even just have Sniper Octillery.
But it doesn't matter because winning is the friendship that she has along the way with her team.
Correct. Yes. I agree wholeheartedly. So
she's already won.
We can move to the next one. So,
hey, that's me.
So we heard about Eviolite.
Yeah, so tell us about Eviolite users. What's up there, buddy? Yeah,
I got a whole bunch of them. I have capitalized the market.
Yeah. How's the market?
Oh, it's looking good, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
So this is probably my match to watch this week. I think it'll be one of the more competitive matches.
Yeah, it's joke. Just things looking at that. Like, I know it's been brought up, and I know I was discussing it in voice chat the other night. Is just the Torkoal Venusaur combo it's tough because Venusaur in the sun super fast, Torkoal in Trick Room super slow. So like my Trick Room strat that I used last week, it's not just gonna dominate because Torkoal's gonna come up and be like, "Oh, thank you, sir. May I have another?"
One thing that's fun is Torkoal can also have Solar Beam. So there's
so
a lot
very much my Trick Room strat can't just work. But yeah, I mean, I've looked at ways. There are ways to combat stuff.
This does feel like a team that Urshifu can do a lot of work to again. There are some mons that can counter it though. Aromatisse might be a big thing come this week. Urshifu, I guess. Only time will tell, but I think this will be a fun matchup.
All it takes is one training kiss, and Urshifu just fucking explodes.
Yeah, he does not like fairy moves. That's a fact. Yeah, we'll see how I can do.
And we'll see. I mean, you've got your little anti-weather tech up there in Heliolisk. We'll see if he shows up.
No, this isn't anti-weather. This is all weather.
Okay.
Like pro every kind of weather.
He's like an ATV.
Which one of your 6 fucking Eviolite users are you gonna bring this week?
All of them.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to guess which one has Eviolite.
And we'll see if Gothitelle shows up because
that's your strategy.
Nick brought the Gothitelle and did some work.
She's the girl. She the girl.
And then final matchup: Zache versus Raul. Trying to get it to. So
hopefully Zache will have some appropriate time this week so he can do a better showing.
I think this is going to be a revenge game. Even though Raul did nothing to him, he's going to exact his revenge on Raul.
Yeah. I think it could happen, but I do also see Raul just very conveniently out speed creeps his team.
But something that I do see, Sableye last week really couldn't do too much against my team that it wanted to because I have 2 dark types that I could easily just come in and stop him from doing work. But Raul doesn't have that.
Yeah.
He has 0 dark types. He does have Hat to magic bounce things, but there's a lot of threats that really they like being fast, but they could get burned, and that could be very bad for them.
Yep, they could get burned, they could get quashed.
So Hawlucha, Scolipede, Rillaboom, all of those can be very fast, and all of them can be burned.
I do think it is a little tricky, though, when he has his own psychic terrains.
This is true. Yeah, but then that does also mean he gets to control it, so he can stop the big boomer from doing his grassy glide.
Yeah.
Any sucker punches. I mean, Mawil's probably more going to be support, but you can stop.
Yeah, I mean that comes down to speed matchup, and we'll see if Raul will understand speed matchup about which terrain will stay up.
So something that Zache also has to be careful with is giving Hatterene psychic terrain is a very bad idea.
Hatterene and psychic terrain is very strong.
You may even see Sableye and Thievul on the field at the same time.
Just to make sure you're not getting nuked by those attacks.
So anyway, those are the matchups for next week. Before going into our prediction segment here, I do just want to take note of our week 1 MVP leaders. I've got our top 5 here. I don't have a graphic for them. I'll tell you them.
Okay.
In 5th place is Greg's G-Max Venusaur, 6 drinks under with 58 points.
6 drinks.
In 4th place is Ian's Heat Set Purloin bipedal, 62 points.
Some points.
In 3rd place is Togetic.
There you go.
With 63 points. This thing got 0 KOs, but it had
lots of support.
It had 9 tanked hits and 12 control moves.
Lots of support. Of support.
2nd place is G-Max Colossal Train from Jake's team.
Whoa!
Up and did some work.
Yep.
Got 4 KOs, I believe.
It's the Train, baby.
That's Train, baby.
And then 1st place we have Slugzilla the Gastrodon. At 71 points.
Yeah, she did the work.
A couple controls by setting up weather. Just did work generally. A lot of tanked hits.
Oh yeah.
So right now we do have Gastrodon in the lead. Nick's Gastrodon. See if someone dethrones it.
Probably. She's not going to be the KO leader every week.
And then quickly we're going to look at our prediction standings from last week. Kind of just toss this together, but we can see this obviously is matching, but in the future, last week and overall will be a little different.
Hopefully.
But Dan and I are 3-1 from our predictions last week, and Raul, who was last week, went 2-2. So you got some catching up to do here, Nick, to pull the team.
All right, wrong answers only. Let's go.
There you go.
Pull the team up. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into predictions. And Nick, since you're so raring to go, give us your prediction of Weedles versus Quillfish.
Weedles versus Quillfish. I'm gonna give it to Ian. I believe in him.
All right.
I think he can do the work.
We've got one for Ian. I'm going to second you. It'll depend on. I think it's really going to end up depending on how much Jake can practice and rehearse matchups. But it's hard to rehearse matchups against who kind of pulls things out of his hat. And I know he's been preparing for this match for like a week and a half.
Yeah, so I think before week 1 he had 3 weeks planned.
Right.
Yeah. So I was gonna go with Jake's X Factor, because you just don't know what the fuck he's gonna do that week. Yep. But then I heard Ian's like just doctorate thesis about a single set from Pearly, and you're like, you know what? Maybe I should go with Ian here. So I'm gonna go with the man who will type out 18 paragraphs about
Pokemon is science, man.
No fun allowed.
I also
only math.
I do want to make sure Dan is 3-1 because he changed one of his predictions.
Yes.
I didn't note that, but trust me, I am competing with Dan. I'm not going to cheat for Dan.
I heard Greg talk about his team. I'm like, hey, can I change my thing real quick?
It also Greg dropped his Darm and picked up Incineroar, so I gave Dan the chance to switch his prediction. Anyway, shifting down to Sneasels versus Togepi, Dan. You don't have to take too long on this. You can be short and sweet if you want.
Octillery. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. I'm gonna second you. Maybe not Octillery specifically, but I think Lauren's here to have fun.
And I'm gonna have to agree. Evans, he's got a lot of experience. He did seem a little wobbly in the first match against Raul, but you did see eventually he was able to pull off what he was working with, doing what he wanted, and was able to walk away with the W. And I think he's gonna do it again.
Evan's the sweaty gym coach that's also your dad, while Lauren's your mom who just wants you to go have fun.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna move into the next matchup, which is Zache versus Raul. I'll go first on this one. I'm gonna take Zache, but I think it's gonna be a 2-1 set that's pretty close. I think Sableye Quash is just able to deal with. And I don't really know that he's gonna have a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I don't have a whole lot of time to like give him feedback on the sets he throws out this week, so I can't really fine tune stuff. That's what I'm gonna throw out. I think Zache might. Go ahead, Dan.
So I think Zache is going to get the revenge game here, even though Raul did nothing to him. He's going to exact his revenge on Raul.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a 2-0, baby.
Yeah. All right, Nick.
Simply because
Raul's got 6 Cinderace, big Rillaboomer.
He does, but Zache just got kittens this week, so I think he's going to have the most pure of heart, and he's going to pull away the W because of that.
That's
can't
fair.
be stopped. He's got kids.
This is a victory because of cats. Yeah,
he's got kids to feed.
He's got skin in the game.
We might have a very strong consensus throughout this whole thing, but Dan,
probably not.
Go ahead and give us our last one, then, Dan.
I think you already know who I'm picking. Fuck you, Nick.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're gonna pick the Dracovish. You're gonna pick Greg.
As much as I don't want to, I can't side with Nick. I can't be nice to him.
So
you don't have to be nice to me. You just have to be right.
Nick proved me wrong last time, and he's shown some real understanding of doubles. So I'm gonna go with Nick this.
Oh, thanks.
All right, now pick Greg and throw.
I actually do have a hard time picking this because, like, I've planned a team. I've seen what the team should be able to take and should be able to do, but then at the same time, Greg's done some weird stuff before.
Yep.
So
Greg's definitely gonna go for that heat.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close, but honestly think I'm going to give it to Greg. I feel like I'm going to plan as much as I can, but I think he's going to bring something I'm not going to expect.
Nick's throwing!
Okay.
Nah, man, I don't throw.
Well, we'll see whose predictions come true. There's only one game that really has a difference for us. So, anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in this week. We went about a half hour, which is perfect for us. You're going to hear back from us next week with a new guest.
It's going to be the winner of the heatest game. So I'll see you guys next week.
Get this old busted piece of crap out of here. Fucking washed up commissioner. Get out of here. Boo!
All right, bye.